Hi there, Sabine with Silver International Realty. Thank you so much for visiting my YouTube channel today. It is absolutely freezing cold in Santa Rosa Beach, and I am freezing, and I am not going outside, so I decided to do a couple of YouTube videos, and this one is on solar panels, so stay tuned. So those of you who have worked with me before or have watched my videos know that I just love learning new things. And with all the transactions I have done, each one I learned something new. And this one on the solar panels sure gave me a completely different viewpoint. So let me tell you about my experience. I'm representing the buyer, Pam and Tony, who are looking into a home that had solar panels installed about a year ago onto their fairly new home, probably 3 years old. Well, so to find out, I contacted a listing agent that they paid originally for the solar panels $72,000, and they had a monthly payment left of $280 a month for the next 20 years. So what do I do? How do I help Tony and Pam make the right decision on purchasing this home? So for starters, I listened to a couple of YouTube videos of this Dave Ramsey. So if you want to go and read up on solar panels, I recommend you may do that. And I also reached out to a couple of local real estate agents in the Emerald Coast who have done transactions with solar panels representing both either the seller or the buyer on the purchase of the home. So the first thing I did, I asked for a copy of the solar panel operational guide, pamphlet, warranty, so that my buyers were able to read through all the documents. That was number one. Read the fine print. Yeah, because I've heard some horror stories where people purchased solar panels and were under the assumption that the payments could be easily transferred to a new buyer or assumed. Ask questions. Is it a lease? Is there a loan for the solar panel? Usually there's a second party. Or is there a tax lien put against the house until the solar panels are paid in full? All those elements can affect your closing on the property. What kind of warranty are against the solar panels? What happens in 10 years when your roof starts leaking, and how do you have to go and replace these warranties? What kind of batteries are there? The size of the backup batteries in case we don't have sun for a few days and it's cold and chilly and snowing and overcast. You do want to have power. The tax credit that was promised to the original purchaser, is that transferable to the new buyers? Or has it already been used? Assuming the loan is transferable to the new buyers and they're willing to pay the $280 a month, is there a transfer fee? Who pays it? The seller? The buyer? When you start doing your loan application and the home has to be appraised, the appraiser gives what kind of value to the solar panels? I was told not much, maybe sometimes $5,000, but definitely not $70,000. So if you're purchasing a home, let's just hypothetical say at $400,000, and the solar panels you're paying for are $70,000 over the next 20 years, don't think the appraiser's gonna appraise the house for $470,000. Lastly, we were told that the excess energy gives the buyer a credit towards the end of the year. So ask for the last 3 energy bills and look into all that. Make sure that there's really a credit, and how much are you paying, because there are some savings on the solar panels, so you are getting a credit towards your electric bill. Lastly, if you are planning to sell that house 3-4 years later, the average buyer sells their house every 5 years. I mean, those are statistics from NAR. So unless you are deciding and determine that this is your forever home and you're going to live in that home for the next 20 years, you really need to consider that too, because if you're trying to sell the home in 4 years, you're going to be still stuck with those payments. And it may be possible, if the market is not as crazy hot like it is right now, that now you have to pay money to sell your home. So in this situation with my buyers, I recommended them writing an offer, but having the seller pay off the solar panels. And unfortunately, we did not get the offer accepted. The seller was not able to do that. And, it was not in the best interest for my buyers. And sometimes this is my job to educate them and make sure that I'm helping them make a decision that they're comfortable with. So now we're heading out looking for some other homes. Hopefully they won't have solar panels on them. Lastly, if you bought a home and you're considering putting solar panels on the home, reach out to me, and I would love to talk to you a little bit about what it does if you had to sell your home. If you know it's your forever home, you're building your dream home. This is my home, I'm always staying in. It's a completely different story. But most people do move every 5 years, so keep that in mind. And lastly, if you have a home that has solar panels installed and you considering listing it and selling it, make sure you have all your facts ready to go. Have a discussion with your listing agent on what is the best situation for you, how to sell it, how to market it, and have everything ready to go so that when you have a potential buyer come, you can give them everything and you have a complete, clear understanding on what it takes to close this transaction. And lastly, make sure that buyer can also, talk to the lender, make sure the lender is on sync, that these additional payments are not gonna throw off the debit credit ratio for your buyer. So many things to consider, but if you have a plan, if you understand what's involved, it really can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. It just depends on each situation. Each transaction is different. Thank you for listening to my video. If you have any question, please reach out to me. Don't forget to subscribe and like my video and ask questions. I love to hear from you. Do you own a home that has solar panels? What do you love about it? What do you not like about it? Until the next time, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, tschüss.